Fit for Life Radio, episode number 106. I'm your host, co-host Gary.
And I'm Will.
Co-host duo. Today, here we are, post-Thanksgiving.
It's Sunday.
Rolled on in.
Feels weird to be here on a Sunday.
And you're listening on a, well, you could be listening on any day.
Any day, but it's dropping on a Tuesday.
And we are going to be talking about post-Thanksgiving.
What do you do?
What's happening? How you feeling? Did you dip your, Will, did you dip your hoodie cord in your coffee?
Bro, yes. Yes.
Oh, the default. I got it. Now it's like second nature to put my hand.
I need to now.
When I'm brushing my teeth or doing anything.
It happened, I don't know, last weekend. And Whitney was like, why is your what is this called? Your drawstring on your hoodie brown and wet. She was like, were you chewing on it? And I was like, no. Just straight up, half of it's brown. It dipped in my coffee that morning. I don't think it's ever coming out.
You got to get a hoodie without the cords, without the drawstrings.
But then it feels wrong.
Streamline.
Nah.
How often do you use those?
All the time. I used to stir my coffee.
Yeah. Have you ever actually put on your hood and tightened it? I don't think I ever have.
I have. Like, if it's, like, super windy and it's really cold, like, I've done it. Tie that baby up. Just enough of a hole so you can see and breathe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look cool.
I think I haven't because if it's ever that cold, I also have a beanie on.
That's true.
So the hood's just kind of blocking the on. It's
Dude,
no need to tighten.
I love, like, a beanie, but I never remember to wear one, and I never know where mine's at. Matter of fact, Whitney, I think, has worn my beanies more than me. Like, we went out yesterday, and she wore my beanie. And I was like, maybe I should have worn that, because I don't have hair.
Yeah. I'm starting to learn. I'm getting better about I need to keep a hat with me everywhere. I'm pretty good with the beanie when it gets cold, but then say you warm up and you don't need the beanie anymore, but I'm outside.
You don't need that.
Then I just need a hat, but I can't just be exposed to the element then my little head will get burned up.
Your fair skin.
So I gotta,
your soft skin.
No hair.
That's good. Yeah. That would be the hardest thing about being bald for me is, like, remembering you have to wear a hat. Because I just suck at anything like that. Clearly, I can't even wear a beanie. Yeah, I'd be bad at that. It's
places where you wouldn't think about it. Like, you're going out. You could, like, the beach is obvious, right?
Yeah.
But when you're, say, going to, you could be going out to eat, right? And you end up eating outside.
Yeah, and then your head's burnt.
And you just got...
Or you got to go to a cookout or something. And then you're like, I was outside for 4 hours. Yep. And you got a bullseye on your head now.
But then the problem with that's, like, what's, a baseball hat's not the most... It's kind of informal, right?
Yeah, so what do you wear?
So my neighbor, he's in his mid-50s, and he looks really cool in those flat caps. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the paperboy hats?
Yeah. But I'm like...
Get your newspapers!
I feel like it adds 20 years. Like, when you're at an appropriate age, they're very appropriate.
But I feel like that can really define who you are, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you wear one, then there's, like, a lot of assumptions that are automatically made about you, but also... You've made some commitments to being a certain way when you wear one of those hats. So it's more than just wearing a hat. It's like, do I want to be that person?
But they feel more formal than a baseball cap. But then what's your other thing? Like the old top hats?
Yeah, no, you can't do that. I think it's just a matter of wearing a baseball hat, but making it work.
Yeah, just
you can make it work and kind of dress it up a little bit.
So then on that note, this is probably the happy medium is... The problem is I wear hats maybe to the gym sometimes and, to other stuff, but then I sweat in them. And
you need dress hats, man.
I need a hat that's only,
Yeah, a going out hat.
Yeah.
But then the problem with that is, like, if you really like the hat.
You want to wear it all the time.
You want to wear it all the time, and then, like.
So you need two.
Yeah. It's like me with shoes. Like, I'll buy shoes and be like, I'm not going to wear these to work, and I'm not going to work out in them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, where else am I going to wear them? I don't get to show them off. And so I end up not wearing them, anywhere, and it makes me sad. So then I just. Wear them down all the time. Like these, the ones I have on, like I have some tie-dye Vans on. I was like, I'm not going to wear these except when, like, Whitney and I go somewhere. Nah, I started working out in them, and they're starting to get real ratty and not white.
All right, let's get to what the people came for.
So really, we're just talking about, like...
Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, Thanksgiving and the rest of the year.
If you don't live in the United States, then just because we have a decent amount of listeners that don't, then just this still applies for any kind of holiday,
Yeah.
birthday, special event, to where a lot of times the problem with these events are they aren't the event themselves. It's what they trigger,
Yeah.
which is comfort.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good.
Resorting back to, oh, you know what? I just had 2 days where I ate all the things, and ugh, hashtag ugh. What's the point of even trying to eat better?
I'll just get better
well.
after the New Year's.
And yeah, then we fall back to our comforting, easy habits, which typically, as if you listen a bunch, you know that our big thing is what's your food environment, what's your baseline habits, right? So if your baseline habits, you've kind of established them and they support your goal body comp and health markers and all that, then typically that's what you'll fall back to. So, Thanksgiving's on Thursday, have leftovers Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, you kind of wake up and it's like, where do you automatically go? And this is environment and mindset, because if your mindset is, I had 2 bad days, say you are actively pursuing a goal of like weight loss, fat loss, and your mindset goes to, I already ruined things, so all or nothing mindset, then what's the point of even trying, because you're working on changing these habits? Then yeah, you fall back to, you know what, I'm gonna go buy more pie and let's go get
those sale pies.
Let's go get some pumpkin scones, and just screw it, right? Because you have an all or nothing mindset, so you feel like those 2 days you just blew it.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it's 2 days.
Yeah, you're not blowing anything in 2 days.
I mean, let's even say, okay, you only had, there's no other holidays until Christmas, and there wasn't a holiday before this, except for Halloween. So the reality is, on both sides of this Thanksgiving,
there's one holiday on each side,
and they're like a month away.
Yeah.
Like 25, 30 days
So we're
away.
looking at like basically one holiday a month.
So what did you? Okay, those 2 days, the Thanksgiving and the day after. Well, what'd you do the previous 28 days, and what are you doing the next 28 days, right? So that's what matters. But if you kind of take I went, that all or nothing mindset, and turn this next month into into Thanksgiving, into holiday eating, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So now that's your default habit, right? Habits. So we're going to kind of like lay out a plan, mindset, environment that you always want to work towards, and it's going to be a reminder for most, but you have to realize it's okay to indulge and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's really, what are you doing the majority of the other time? So you want to...
Yeah, I mean, I would say like a really big one, because coming straight out of it, is like if you have a whole fridge full of leftovers, they got to go somewhere.
And first, let's talk about our Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So they can see, so they can hear. They can't see.
I'll tell you. We'll tell you what we did. Do you guys only go? You only go to one place, right? Or do you do 2 dinners? You double dip?
Double dip.
Yeah, we double dip too.
So I knew I had to go to my parents for Thanksgiving, and when they do it early.
You do it like 12, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, 1, and then we go to her parents, her family later in the afternoon around like 5.
We literally had the same day.
So I skipped breakfast.
Boom.
Because I know, and legit, the reason I skip breakfast isn't to save calories. It's because I know I'm just going to eat a ton, and I want to I want to maximize the amount I can eat in those meals. So if I have a high protein breakfast like normal, it's going to start to fill me up, and I'm going to not have as much room for pies.
The good stuff.
So this year I did pretty good. When I say pretty good, I mean I never want to end up to where you're just physically in pain from eating too much. That's not fun.
It'll sneak up on you though. It does.
So I went to my parents, and I've learned over the years, knowing that we have another whole Thanksgiving to go to, you got to be careful with like the pre-meal stuff.
Yeah.
The charcuterie boards and the maybe cookies or whatever they're hanging out, and cocktails with a bunch of calories in them, all that stuff. It's calories, and it's going to start to fill you up. And if you're not going to, you want to have dessert and try all the things. Again, for me, this isn't a battle of me trying to count or save calories. It's literally, I know I still have only so much room before painful regret.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that it's a good, whatever you're filling that with is good.
So, yeah, I was just had a little bit of cheese and stuff. Then
just one little box, like one Lunchable. Is that all you had?
Now this is an advanced strategy here. Are you ready for this? So
let's see if I do.
We spend so much time because a lot of people maybe they do want to do better and not eat as much on the holiday, which is fine too. So then a good meal is like load up on the protein. It's going to make you feel full.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do.
But my problem is I just want to go ahead and indulge because I know all the other times I'm on point where I want to be, so I want to maximize that, and I eat lean protein all the time. So I actually made sure I ate less turkey than normal.
So you got less filled up.
So I got less filled up, and so I just had like a little bit of turkeys, and then loaded up on sweet potato casserole, like green bean stuff, tapioca pudding. My grandma makes that.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
I never had tapioca pudding.
It's good.
Doesn't it have little lumps in it?
Yeah, they're little pearls.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm sure if I ate it, but the consistency seems weird. It's like those boba tea drinks that have little like.
Those are tapioca pearls.
Yeah, those freak me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, had that plate, roll.
You can't have, who has one roll?
And then had a little second plate. Now, then I also made sure, this was a big decision, I skipped dessert.
At the first house?
At my parents' house. Okay. Skipped the pies.
Was there nothing worth eating?
Well, no, there was, but I mean, it's like pecan pie, pumpkin pie, ice cream, stuff like that. But I just knew, because by the time we got to there, it's 2:00. We're eating again at 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's no point in just a little piece of pie for me. No. It's either like
half a
substantial
pumpkin pie
and like dessert to completion, meaning to fullness,
to completion,
to discomfort. So I can't go there and then be ready to eat an entire meal again in 2 or 3 hours and enjoy it. So boom, cut it off. And then eventually got there. Had a couple drinks.
That'll get you going too.
Yeah, and then dinner, which was then I had a little more turkey, the different sides and all, pretty much one of everything, and then didn't get a second plate because I knew then I was going to indulge.
You wanted your pie
in the dessert, so then they had some like pumpkin cheesecake thingy, pumpkin pie, fruit cake. I didn't have any of that.
When are we gonna drop fruit
some
cake?
kind of cookies or something? So then pretty much ate and it was pretty good. I got to the point where I was like,
if you ate
you
more,
feel you went over the line, but still it was okay. And when I say over the line again, I mean like
discomfort.
This is kind of painful. And boom, that was that. And then the next day, so what did we do Friday? Oh, it was we went and I went to like the gun range and
you
stuff,
went shooting.
family. But that went home, so I had like my normal breakfast. I think a couple protein bars for lunch and normal dinner. But then knowing Saturday we were going back to her like brother's house because they have a bunch of family from out of town and they have a new house, so they're gonna show it and they were gonna have a cookout and all that. So knowing that I had that, I had my normal breakfast and then skipped lunch.
And then a party dinner.
Yeah, party dinner. It was mostly her brother had made a bunch of pork barbecue, and then we had a bunch of leftovers. So it was like the pork barbecue, and then there was some turkey, some mashed potato stuff, cheesecake, pies, things like that, and pretty much had all that again. And boom, and then today,
normal day,
normal, yeah. So my normal breakfast, I'll have my normal lunch, normal dinner. And the good thing is it's effortless because it's all default baseline for me.
Yeah, just go back to normal.
Right. What about you?
So literally the same setup of a day. I ended up having like 1.5 plates at Whitney's parents' house. Had some dessert. I didn't have a ton, but I didn't go into like the pies. I think I had a couple. Whitney made lemon cookies. I actually ate lemon cookies at both houses. Full disclosure. So I had a couple of those, and maybe like one or two things here and there. Nothing crazy. Like I wasn't full. Felt fine. Took a nap on the couch. But I got just a little bit of everything was my goal. Like I honestly don't really care for turkey that much. I think it's overrated. I think we need to push past turkey as a holiday meat. But that aside,
Well, you're talking. That's the whole point of Thanksgiving, almost. Right?
I know
Like,
it is. But like at the same time, why do you eat something that's not that good compared to other things? That's my question. Anyways, so we leave there. My parents was at like we ate around 5. So there we usually do a whole turkey, a smoked turkey breast, and then a leg of lamb. So we'll do a little bit of everything. And for me, like I'm ready. Some red meat is what I would prefer anyways.
Yeah.
So what I did there, tiny bit of turkey, like just enough, dark meat. And then I loaded up on lamb and then just kind of a normal amount of other stuff. I realized across the whole Thanksgiving, I didn't have one slice of pie. And it kind of threw me off because usually my mom would make like a pie for everybody and then a pie for me, but she didn't make any pumpkin pie this year.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out. If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
And I'm kind of hurt. But I had 0 pumpkin pie. I had a crap ton of cookies, though. Whitney made, what did she make? She made lemon cookies, which are my absolute favorite. And then she made a molasses cookie. Was it molasses? I think she made. Also phenomenal, right? But that, like, I got pretty full because I went back for more lamb. and like kind of filled up on that. And I didn't do your approach of doing less protein. Like I knew if I didn't do that, I kind of feel miserable. I'll like overdo the cookies and then kind of just feel like garbage and still feel hungry though. Like that almost like your blood sugar is way too high and you feel terrible. But all we took, I think, from my parents' house, I just took a bag of lamb and that's it. So what I did the next day, we went and got coffee in Williamsburg, got home. Lunch was just the leftover lamb and a couple of eggs. And that was my whole lunch. And then we went out for dinner. But I tried to normalize as much as possible. But again, like I would have had ground beef anyways. So having some lamb wasn't too much of a difference in terms of content. So yeah, that was pretty normal. Actually less carbs than normal. And then today is just a normal regular day, regular dinner. I'll go home and have ground beef and rice when I get home from recording this. And then our week will be exactly what we normally do. So we didn't take a ton of leftovers. We'll take some from Whitney's parents. It's more like you can't refuse. So like I'll take whatever and then nobody knows what happens.
And so then to start that off, we fall into our baseline habits. And I think one thing you have to have done is you need your baseline foods in your house.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times I think people are preparing, or you get to your holiday, have that long weekend, and then you have no food.
And you're unprepared for the week.
You're unprepared. So then it's like, well, let me go stop by Chick-fil-A. And then you're like, I already had 2-3 days of eating whatever. I might as well just keep it going, right?
And not go to the grocery store and get what you need to get for the rest of the week. Like, I'll go on my normal day next week.
Or you go
it'll be better
to the grocery store and just start picking stuff that
you don't need.
Yeah, you fall into your all or nothing mindset, and your grocery trip becomes, Pringles and
a snack trip
and Snicker bars.
Yeah.
And so maybe plan ahead enough to have your access to your green light foods, so that boom, when that day hits, I need to get back on track, fall into my baseline. It's actually available to you, right? And you wake up and boom, there's your normal breakfast, your go-to breakfast or whatnot. And that's going to be number one.
Yeah, that's got to be the biggest thing. Environment. We always say it. And then that's really what's going to dictate your habits, your automatic things.
Because you're just coming off of vacation, holiday eating, right? We say vacation eating because that's kind of what
vacation eating.
Holiday eating is where you get what you want and you
disregard your hunger
disregard
cues
all
and
that
stuff.
So you have to be careful because you're teetering on, hey, these have been my actions, right? And it can much easily continue. So you have to be prepared to get back into your baseline.
You know what I find too, and this isn't everybody, but sometimes after indulging for a few days, the day you kind of go back to your baseline, you just kind of get through it. Because you might be a little more hungry than normal and you have to fight that urge. So it is a little harder on that first day. There's, a little more of a barrier.
And your food's not going to taste as good.
Exactly. Your food doesn't taste as good. You just have to, like, if you know that and you're like, okay, this day is going to be kind of blah when I do this, but then after that it'll get better. Having that expectation can be really helpful so that you know why you feel the way you do. And it's a little easier to navigate that.
And you have to understand the trade-offs. For example, so for me, perfect example, yes, when you're eating sweet potato casserole and fried turkey and, cheesecake and all this stuff, and it has the heightened deliciousness and taste, and you're acclimated to that. But then at the same time, I have tons of sugar, tons of calories, to where my sleep wasn't as good. And then you wake up, where you're like really thirsty and your mouth's...
I had the same exact thing.
Yeah, not feeling as I normally do when I wake up, right, as refreshed. But then I get into my regular day, and I already kind of know now to appreciate the somewhat blandness, right? Because now, this is the food that then makes me have more steady energy throughout the day, that helps me fall asleep better, that helps me wake up and have better sleep and feel more refreshed. And knowing that, then you're not just sad because you're like, oh, I wish this was cheesecake, right? So now all of a sudden you went from, again, eating pumpkin pie and all these delicious foods to, now kind of plain
Yeah.
protein and potato and strawberries, and it's like, oh, I'd rather have strawberry pie. I'd rather have, mashed, buttered, chived, sour creamed potatoes, right? But again, you have to learn the trade-offs, right? And remind yourself of why you do enjoy your green light foods and why you do kind of control and have this baseline to kind of battle our food environment out there that makes us overeat and end up overweight with more likely to have health complications.
It's an interesting phenomenon, and I think we run into it. I'm sure people that have good routines and like a solid food environment, all of that kind of run into. Say you go on vacation and you kind of eat whatever, you enjoy yourself, but by the end, you really just want your bland, normal food again.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we went to Aruba, I think all of us felt this way, but by like the 5th day, I just wanted to eat beef and rice. And not that the food we ate wasn't good, but I almost like craved that normalcy. And it's interesting how that happens. And it doesn't happen to everybody, and it's not always, what it is. But I've found that happens to me if I, deviate for too long. It's like deep down, I'm like, damn, I just kind of want that plain stuff.
Yeah. And I always tell people it takes time to get to that point, but everyone can get there.
Yeah.
And that's when, you do, manage your energy levels, your body composition. And again, you get all those benefits, and those you feel those, you see those. Then mentally, you're able to attach those.
Yeah. I think subconsciously, like, how it makes you feel. And so you kind of, when you've eaten tacos and cakes and drank and all that kind of stuff, your brain's like, man, we usually feel good when we do this other stuff.
Yeah. And again, you have to realize we are, wanting to overeat and overindulge and combine this food with these special occasions and family. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. All that is, in a way, natural per se, because we are wired to make sure we eat enough. The problem is our indulgent times weren't all the time. That's why we naturally have a tendency to indulge, because we didn't know when the next meal was coming, and it could be days or months to where you're scraping by.
Yeah, we're wired to take advantage of a surplus.
The problem now is we have
surplus everywhere.
We have a surplus everywhere, cheap and readily available, especially in a country like America.
Yeah, it's anywhere. Like,
So
I could have gotten 3,000 calories at Wawa when I got this coffee.
Yeah.
And it would have been $5 or something,
And that's what you have to battle against. That is the external food environment that we talk about, and why, a lot of times people fall into this trap of you shouldn't limit yourself, in this like almost woo-woo mentality of why would we even want to think about having to create these boundaries? But the reality is, we do, because
of where we're at.
Because of what we have access to, because of what we've created, and there's no way around it.
And would it be nice to not have to?
Yeah.
Absolutely, but it's just not the reality of the situation. And I think avoiding that is not a good thing. If you act like the environment that we live in isn't a problem at all, then I think that you're not helping the cause.
Yep. And the beauty is you have the power to control, ultimately. Think of it as a grown person. You control what goes inside your mouth.
Yes.
Like, there is no other person coming and like shoving stuff in your mouth, making you chew
down
it.
your gullet.
And so you have to remind yourself that at the end of the day, now don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean it's easy, because we have to counteract our Instagrams and
everything.
our Facebook and the radio and all these things that throw
things
food
you experienced as a child
in abundance, and all the emotional reasons that we eat. So we're battling against all that. But at the end of the day, you still have
control.
The control.
It just might be more difficult for one person than the other.
Yeah, and developing the skills needed.
And just like anything, like some people are just like compared to somebody who's had maybe food issues their whole life, like you manage that better. And it's probably a little bit easier for you or myself than somebody who, had a bad home environment and had, eating issues as a kid. Like, they have more of an uphill battle, but they're still in control of making changes themselves.
And another thing I been thinking about lately is, man, people really overestimate the. This is so hard to say, but
Let's see
people
if you can do
people
it.
overestimate the importance. It's so nuanced that this isn't necessarily correct, but it will at least get me where I want to go.
Let's give it a shot.
People overestimate the importance of individual foods and underestimate the importance of portions.
No, yeah.
And now, obviously, the reason that's so hard and it's not completely accurate is the individual foods we eat can affect the portions we end up eating,
and
right?
we've done
well, if you're eating turkey breast, you're going to end up eating less, right, than if you're eating pumpkin pie.
Yep.
But just something I noticed is people will have a tendency to think
the food matters. Like the eating of a certain type of food is what has the weight loss effect or is better than another food.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. So then they'll feel guilty if they have a holiday meal because all these foods are quote unquote bad. But then, I mean, you could take something like cookies or brownie, right, and be like, oh, I'm going to eat better cookies. And instead of having like flour, sugar, butter, you're like, those are bad. So then you have like almond flour and another kind of
honey.
Sugar and like, honey and
Applesauce.
coconut oil instead of
Oh, yeah, that works.
instead of butter, right? But it's still a cookie. It's still cookies,
at the end of the
right?
day, you still made a cookie. It's just different ingredients in it.
And the reality is like you just have to learn you need to learn how to portion these cookies or whatnot, or portion. Okay, if I'm going to have a huge meal on holidays and special occasions, then I need to balance that with more control and baseline food intake calories on other periods of time, right? Same thing. Those foods on holidays, like you don't have to feel guilty
No.
for eating them. You know, you should
No.
enjoy them. Most of them have nutrition anyways. It's just, they typically are going to be highly processed and easier to overeat. But, if you don't overeat them,
Then you're going to be
in the
okay.
grand scheme, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. So don't stress that either. Stressing about the food you eat all the time, too, is terrible for you.
Yeah.
It's I would wager it's worse than just eating that one food in moderation. The stress of worrying like, oh, my God, this is going to cause me inflammation and it's going to make me gain weight and make me unhealthy. Like, if you're always worried, of course your food's going to do that to you. So a little side note that bothers me sometimes about the way people think about food.
And the other thing with what I said is, and this is where you have to combat food marketing, is people then will hear such and such food is super.
Oh, God.
And then they think that just eating as much of that food
is the difference maker.
Is the difference maker. So then it's, again, too much emphasis on the specific food when the reality is like you could read something that says almonds are a superfood and, they have some great qualities. But so then if you're like, well, you're eating almond butter, you're whacking back almond flour, you're eating regular almonds all day long, and you're just eating too much of them, you're going to
gain weight.
It's going to be the same as if you were eating too much of something else, right, over time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an issue, right? So people just want it to be as simple as like, eat these foods, don't eat these foods. But the first step is really like, eat the proper amounts, right?
Yeah.
Now, so that's where a lot of people, you don't even have to change the food you're eating. You can change the amounts. And then you'll find, it's really hard to only eat a little bit of this food. And then you'll notice, this food, I never really overdo it with. And so that's, again, where, the type of food you eat does matter. But if you don't stop to kind of like give it a chance and realize that overall portions matter, you're not going to start noticing the nuance of how different foods then affect the amounts you eat.
Yeah, the portions are still key.
Yeah.
Like let's say you ate McDonald's every day and you ate a Big Mac with a large fry and a drink. Well, if you just cut that in half or 2/3 and ate that every day, you'd probably lose a little bit of weight. And all you've done is change your portion, Now, is it hard to do? Probably. But, like, that's still something that you could do, and you're still eating McDonald's, but still making a positive change despite, what somebody else might tell you.
Which brings us back to the main point, which is, and again, this doesn't happen on a daily, meal-by-meal scale either. It can be, hey, you ate a bunch on a holiday and the next day, so just you need to scale back for the next 3 weeks, right? And then Christmas comes, and then you can enjoy yourself, have those foods, those Christmas foods, that holiday meal and dessert. Like, they're not specifically what's going to make you gain weight.
No.
Right? And have all the bad downstream effects of stuff like that. It's that you have that, and then also your regular normal life still is a lot of too much portions of food.
Still a holiday.
Right? It's still a holiday. Your other 364 days. So again, it comes down to, how do I manage my portions at these different levels of scale?
Yeah. Which
on this holiday indulgent level, you step back, and this isn't even the case, but if there was something every month, right? You could enjoy yourself, have whatever is kind of part of that holiday, and if your other rest of the month's on point,
you're fine.
You're going to be fine, because you're managing your portions, your total intake overall throughout
the year. Yeah, that's easy. We have 27 days before Christmas, just to interject.
Nope.
So I hope you bought your gifts.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
No, I'm stressing because Alexis, my wife, told me what she wanted, and I got it like that within 12 hours.
Now you're waiting on shipping, though, aren't you?
No, the company messaged me.
Oh, no.
Emailed me, and they're like, oh, we oversold it. It's out. Your order's been canceled.
You might as well just...
No. So I told her, so now she's like, it still says you can buy it on the website. I'm like...
Nah, they told me.
Damn. But yeah.
So yeah, we have 4 weeks. 4 weeks until Christmas, which means that you don't have to make it 4 weeks of a holiday. So...
And the key is, what are those 4 weeks going to look like for you? Is it waking up and having 2 bagels and a honey bun and a coffee with basically a dessert coffee, and then your lunch is snacks and, let me grab something real quick at Chick-fil-A and I'll get the French fries and the soda, and then you're like, you know what, I already screwed up on Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, then New Year's, I'm going to start January, right? So who cares, right? That's the mindset that you want to get rid of. But now if you establish those baseline go-to meals and structure that helps support your goals, and you're hopping back on that for the next 27 days,
you're going to be all right.
What just happened? Your overindulgence this past couple days?
It's a blip, man.
And it's a blip.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, you should indulge on those days and enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy the stuff your family makes, because there is love put into food, and it's important to people.
And you don't have to be perfect. There is no perfect.
Nah,
it doesn't exist.
Perfect doesn't
Like we said,
man.
The foods are on a spectrum. So it's really just managing, not falling into the trap, that all or nothing mindset trap, and finding what your track is and being able to get back on it.
That's the key.
And manage the 28 days in between all these holidays and birthdays and stuff.
Yeah. So that might mean, you're going to be hearing this on a Tuesday, but it still might help if you have a whole fridge. Like, you might need to get rid of leftovers. Clean slate.
Yeah.
Or get rid of everything that's not like turkey or whatever else you eat. So then you at least have some lean meat.
You know what the simple thing to do is? Think about everything you'd eat on Thanksgiving and just eat the whole version of it, right? So no more pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin.
Just have pumpkin, right? No more cranberry sauce.
Cranberries.
No
more mashed potatoes. Eat a baked potato.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Mm-hmm. No more. What else is there?
Stuffing.
Just
bread.
Doesn't
work as well.
What else is in stuffing? Like celery or?
I think celery and some like spices. Weird. Some people put like raisins or cranberries.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you get our point.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back to your Whole Foods. And if you haven't, go do your normal grocery shopping. Get the groceries for the rest of your week, so that you're
Let's-
not hitting Chick-fil-A and Chipotle every day.
Let's do another holiday for fun. So even like July 4th.
July 4th. Okay.
No more hot dogs.
Just
Go
dogs.
Lean, lean beef.
Yeah.
Lean cuts of meat. Right? No more apple pie.
Apples.
Just apples. No more pasta casserole. Is that a thing? What is it called?
I think it is.
When it's like
Pasta salad.
Pasta salad. Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I don't know. What else is in what bell pepper? Just bell pepper. Is that in pasta salad?
Reduce it down. I don't know. So potato salad and pasta salad weird me out, so I've never eaten
Yeah.
them.
Y'all get the point.
Yeah. Simplify. Go back to the basic ingredient in your foods.
Mm-hmm. And if you open your fridge and all you have is cheesecake,
You're going to eat the cheesecake if it's there.
make sure you have some lean meats,
Have
some
your
fruits,
basics,
some
man.
veggies, your green light foods.
Yeah. And if you have not maybe developed that yet, like you don't really have a routine at all, like, do your best. Stick to the, like what we just said, the basics, some lean meat, fruits, veggies. Try to make those your staples, but like start working on finding what normal looks like to you for your goals.
Yeah, what base your
Because it'll help you, in the future when you encounter the holidays, like, July 4th, which is a really big barbecue holiday, or, as you roll into next year of the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas triangle, that's essentially 2 full months of eating. So you can kind of navigate that a little better. So, if you're not there yet, you can still work at it and do your best, and then next year be in a better spot as well.
There it is. Well, hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Get your brain churning. And just kind of reinforces, again, what we always preach, those basics, that they're enough. It's
Yeah.
just doing them consistently. Hit us with any questions, comments, thoughts.
Yeah.
We'll be back every week.
All right. We'll
See
see
you
you
guys.
next time. As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.